एमी जी नमस्ते। एमी कैटलिन जी नमस्ते। सरोजा जी नमस्ते।
सर
अनु
नमस्ते
नमस्ते।
सर। नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते। नमस्ते श्रीदेवी जी नमस्ते।
नमस्कारम श्रीराम गारू.
वेबिनार टू एवरीवन, वेलकम ऑल। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। We can begin whenever.
नमस्कार श्रीराम जी.
नमस्कारम. सा.
Namaste to all.
Namaste.
Sriram ji, with your permission, we will get started, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. And I want to welcome you all to our first webinar during the summer 2020, brought to you by University of Silicanandra in association with Sampada, Silicanandra Music, Performing Arts and Dance Academy. University of Silicanandra has been operating for the last 4 years, starting from spring 2017. We have 5 departments today: Carnatic music, Kuchipudi dance, Bharatanatyam, Sanskrit, and Telugu languages. So in these programs, we have master's, diploma, and certificate programs. You can get more details on our website at universityofsilicanandra.org. Today, we have an eminent faculty member from our Carnatic music department, Sriram Parsuram Garu, who is a very well-known, internationally known artist, academician, and a wonderful performer. So we'll be talking about music appreciation for all. What is music? And if you have any questions during this session, please feel free to put it in the chat window, and Sriramji will answer your questions, or address them from the chat window. Please kindly mute yourself. And this is being recorded. We might use this on our website or our Facebook at a later point of time. And I also want to recognize the presence of one of our board of trustees of University of Silicanandra, Dr. Amy Catlin here. She is the professor at UCLA, has done a lot of work related to our Indian folk music and several things. And Dr. Amy spends more than 6 months every year in India researching our art forms. So we are very glad to have Dr. Amy here for this webinar. Thank you. And we have some more faculty members from the Carnatic Music Department and other departments of University of Silicanandra, Dr. Malaswamy, Dr. Saroja TK Garu. So we welcome you all, and several students, alumni, current students, and the prospect students. The University of Silicanandra welcomes you all. So this is first of the 8 seminars series. Today would be Sriram Parsuram Garu, and we have a wonderful series of webinars lined up. All of them, the information is available on our website, universityofsilicanandra.org/webinar. So please take advantage of this and kindly spread the word about University of Silicanandra. Giving it to you, Sriram Garu. Thank you. So take it on, sir. Forward. Thank you.
Namaste. Vatapi Ganapatim Vajeham. 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 Varanasyam Varapradam Sri Varanasyam Varapradam Sri Varanasyam Varapradam Sri Vatapi Ganapatim Vajeham. Varanasyam Varapradam Sri गणपतिं भजे अम्बरण चौरप्रदं श्री वातापि गणपतिं पतिं भजे अहम् लागी लगनपति सन लागी लगनपति सन लागी लगनपति सन लागी लगनपति लागी लगनपति सन हे माते विलान तजसन हे माते विलान तजसन हे माते विलान हे माते विलान हे माते विलान Vilana, mate, Vilana taja, tanum tanana tajim tadaredani, tanum tanana tajim tadaredani, taredani, taredani. Yali lali tanom tanana tadim tadaredani taredani taredani yali lali tanom tanana tadim tadaredani taredani taredani yali lali tanom tanana tadim tadim. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Namaste. Welcome to this webinar, a first of a kind from me, and I'm sure it's something which is very pioneering in terms of connecting to people and spreading the joy and the beauty of our great artistic traditions. I'm extremely honored and thankful to University of Silicon Andhra for providing such a beautiful platform in these difficult times. This revolution which is going on, spearheaded by University of Silicon Andhra, towards spreading and propagating the great Indian cultural and linguistic traditions is something which the future will record as very significant. I say this being an insider and knowing the people who run this wonderful institution of learning. An institution of learning has to be celebrated. And the kind of the mission that the people behind this have taken up is something absolutely human and fantastic. Not easy. An online university for now. It has 5 departments, and we are all of us, faculty, are so overjoyed to be part of this process of our great music spreading and taking roots in different parts of the world. We have students from all over the world coming in, and the master's certificate and diploma programs are so beautifully designed, and the dissemination of the music, of the Shastra, the theories and the histories behind the music also is something which goes ahead to make a very complete music student or a musician. You know, music has many facets. What you hear, what you listen is at the top of the ladder. But then, as they say, the line behind it in terms of the Shastra, in terms of the people who have contributed, in terms of the history, in terms of the processes by which this music actually manifests itself, the spirituality behind the traditions, the logic behind the traditions, the mathematics and science behind the traditions is all to be celebrated. So in today's session, I began with this raga called Hamsadhvani. Some of you might have recognized it. The Muthuswami Dikshiter composition, Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham, is probably the all-time Billboard chart #1. There is nobody who can claim to be a Rasika of Carnatic music and not know this composition. It stands alone above on top. You know, you ask anybody and they will know this composition. It's in Raga Hamsadhvani. I sang 4 pieces, extracts, small segments of 4 pieces, right? Then I sang an adaptation of this Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham by Amir Khan Sahab from the Hindustani tradition as an ode and prayer to Mata Saraswati. Then I sang a bandish, a Khayal bandish in the same raga, Lagi Lagan Patisana. Then I sang what is called a Tarana. A Tarana is a compositional form which uses the onomatopoeic syllables of the percussion of the tabla, pakhavaj, and constructs the sahitya from that. But these 4 compositions are coming from the inspiration of Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody who encounters this composition in jazz or in any other genre of music, they adapt this melody, beautiful melody, into their own embrace of the musical genre. So, I'm sure some of you could have made out the idea which comes from Muthuswami Dikshitar's father, Ramaswamy Dikshitar, who's credited to have created this raga. We use words like create but these have to be taken in the proper context. Nobody ever creates a raga. The ragas are always there. If at all, we discover them. We figure it out. Right? So, anyway. So, welcome you all. I'm extremely happy to have Raju Garu and other luminaries and faculty from University of Silicon Andhra and our beloved trustee, Dr. Amy Kathleen Jerasboy. They have all, Amy Kathleen and her husband Nazir have contributed so much to the field of study of history and theory and the magic of Indian classical music. And I am greatly indebted to their work because I have grown up reading the books and reading the articles, etc. of Jerasboy, and it has given me so much in terms of the knowledge contained in the pages and the insights. So, thank you, Amy ji, for being here. So, what is music appreciation? Anything which strikes us in our experience as significant and beautiful, we learn or we are drawn, we are inclined to look at it closer because it becomes a source of joy. And that source of joy we acknowledge to ourselves and to the outside world as appreciation. I don't know what the dictionary meaning is. This is my take on the word appreciation. Whenever we are struck by the beauty or the logic or the order or some parameter in an experience, we have a sense of joy in it. And we express that sense of joy to the source of the experience. And this process is what we can say is appreciation. So, music appreciation. The first question that comes is, where does this music happen? What is this experience that we call the experience of sound? And music is nothing but a kind of ordering of sound. Complex, sophisticated ordering but definitely an ordering of sound. And then of course at a later stage you can go to music without the sound also. You know, the music in your in your being. So the word for music in Sanskritam is Sangeeta. Gita denoting song, Sangeeta denoting everything that goes along with the song. You know, there are 100 things which go along with an experience of music or Sangeeta. All of them are acknowledged by this word Sangeeta. Do you know that even the idea of dance is included in the definition of Sangeeta? Sangeeta is not just music. Sangeeta is all that goes along with song. Gita being song. Gita itself, if you want to go deeply into the etymology and the way different scholars and different generations and different great minds have put their mind to understanding what is Gita. But that's for a different day. Today we are so music and Sangeeta you can consider as approximations of each other for all practical purposes. Yeah. So where is this music happening? As a sentient human being, where am I? How am I experiencing this music? And what does it mean to me? That is basically the rubric of what music appreciation is. Some people will be inclined to say, I listen, I hear, and hence I experience music. But is that so? Music is, yes, the means by which you listen is the sense of hearing. Your ears, the very beautiful mechanism of hearing. But then, a rhinoceros has 600 times hearing power than you and me. Right? So just a very refined sensibility or a sense organ of hearing does not ensure experience of music. The human being is very blessed that he or she from birth, you know, the hearing sense is the first to develop within the womb of the mother. In the 3rd month, the baby in the womb starts listening, hearing and responding to sound from outside. That's why in our tradition, you know, we have this festival called Valakappu. When the daughter-in-law is pregnant for the first time, there's a celebration in the 7th or 8th month. And what is very important in this function is that some master has to come and play the veena. Now, the understanding is that the baby is hearing the sound of the veena. The veena is being played for the baby to hear, for the baby to appreciate. So music appreciation starts from the womb itself. What a beautiful culture. You don't even wait for the baby to be born. And the baby is already into the sway of field of music. Because we consider music as to be the voice of the sound of Ishvara. Saraswati. Yeah. So I also recollect one beautiful episode when the great Ustad Zakir Hussain was born. His father, moment the baby was born, he uttered the bols of the tabla into the ear of the just born baby. So central was the idea of sound and music to the life of a child, the life of a human being. That centrality. That we listen, we hear, and hence we are beautiful human beings. So the idea of hearing, listening to music, yes, a very keen sense organ, which can take in the stimulus of sound in all its complexity, but it provides it to the brain. It is the brain which listens and enjoys. It's the manasa. Manasa takes in the sound and all its complexities and figures it out. Figures it out and develops it into a source of joy. So, appreciation begins with the ear but ends with the mind. Manasa. You can play as much music to a person who has passed away. His hearing sense is intact. His inner ear, all the mechanism, all the what is called the, there's a word for it in science, I forget. The membrane which listens and everything, the nerves, everything is working. But the mind is off. The mind is not there anymore. So he doesn't listen to music. He or she who has passed it. You know? So you realize that even if the ear is in order, it is the mind which is the engine for music appreciation. So the process of music appreciation resides in the mind, manasa. Now by mind I mean everything. I mean the aham, the chitta, the memories of sound, the intellect, the buddhi, the emotional side of the mind, all of them get involved in music. So it's a full brain activity. Many people think that music is to do with the creative side alone. No, it is not. Psychologists have proved, cognitive scientists have proved that music is a full brain activity. It involves the whole brain. That is why it gives us, without us knowing, a sense of achievement. Even listening to music gives us a sense of fulfillment, of doing something significant. That's because the whole brain is involved. Okay, as I go on, I can go on cognitive aspects of music for a long time, because I've studied some of these. I've had the opportunity to study a little bit of all these things when I was doing my PhD. So you can post for me, and what ragas you would like to listen, and any particular compositions, any particular genre. If I know them, I will sing it for you. I wish I could have also played the violin, but the setup is not allowing that. But so we realize that music appreciation is a lifelong process, because as you listen, as you apply your mind to your listening, the sense of appreciation, the sense of understanding of the music grows. You understand? You know, man is one of those creatures of God who comes in with very little programming of what to do, how to do. Almost all behavior is learned. All behavior. So you learn to recognize colors, you learn to recognize shapes, you learn to recognize sounds, you learn to recognize different smells, you learn the touch of your mother, you learn everything. Everything is learned behavior. Compare this to a snake, which just emerges from its egg and goes and kills its first meal within hours. That is entirely programmed. There is no learning happening there, except for survival later on. But we cannot survive without learning. So learning is the foundational principle of appreciation. You get this from me? It is not just listening. Learning is the foundational principle for music appreciation. If you want to revel in the joy of music, you have to be ready to be a student for life. You have to be a learner. So if I say Kalyani Raga, how do you know it was Kalyani? Your brain has learned to associate a set of melodic constructs to this name Kalyani. And it has reinforced this learning through repeated experiences of the same. Kalyani of G. N. Balasubramaniam, Kalyani of Nedunori Krishnamurti, Kalyani of Dwaram Venkata Swami Naidu. And then this Kalyani grows in your mind, in your consciousness, and then you realize how beautiful this Kalyani is. And this learning goes on throughout life. At the age of 83, when I met Nedunori Krishnamurti in his home at Visakhapatnam, he told me, Sriram, ipothan konjam puriya varudhu. Only now I am beginning to understand what these ragas are. And here is a master who has spent so much of sadhana mastering classic Carnatic music. So the idea that even at that age, Nedunori sir recognizes that there is so much more to learn. Only now I am beginning my journey. This I will regard as a cornerstone in my own journey in music, because there is so much truth in this process. When we want to learn what is music appreciation, you have to be a learner for life. Yes, there are going to be stages at which you will recognize the raga, for example. So you will know sa, di, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, di, sa. Right? So you will know, you will recognize, oh, these are the notes and this is Kalyani. That is the first step. The recognition of a raga will empower you, will make you feel significant. Ah, I know this raga. Then you will learn to associate this film song with this raga. We cannot say, like George Orwell says, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than the others. So, the appreciation of classical music of any kind involves a certain extension of the human being into learning, into developing, into refining, into sophistication of this process called Sangeeta. So, definitely it is at a higher plane. Let us not be all democratic and destroy all senses of what is significant. Right? I cannot say all music is the same. How can I say that? All music are valid. But I will have a conviction to say classical music is where the human being's connection with this spiritual world of music lies much, much more. Because the mind is involved. The memory is involved. All aspects of the mind are called to play when you listen to music. You know, in the Sangeeta Ratnakara, Sharangadeva places the Rasika. The Rasika is what the word, we don't have a word called listener. Rasikatvam means to participate in the music, not just listen to it. So, the Sangeeta Ratnakara, Sharangadeva places the Rasika above the Kalakar, above the artists, you know. That is a primacy accorded to the Rasika, the listener. Like I said, the word Rasika is much more apt than the word listener or audience or something. Because the Rasika encompasses the whole process of both the hearing and the mind. The audience means they are taking in oral information. Listener means he is listening. But the Rasika means he is also enjoying. He is also delighting in it. So that delightedness is what we seek in music appreciation, right? You want to be delighted. You want that joy to come, to burst forth from within you when you listen to a song. That is what music appreciation is. So, we have this scale, Kalyani, then the Raga Kalyani, and then compositions and Manodharma, everything in Kalyani. Kalyani never seems to exhaust herself. No intelligent person who revels in Indian classical music never come and said, I have had my fill of Kalyani. Because Kalyani can never fill you completely. It is so infinite. So you listen to Kalyani today, so still it continues to give you the same joy, even more joy. That is why music cannot be considered as a consumable. You eat a pizza today, tomorrow you eat the same pizza, even the best pizza in the world. You come to a point of what is called law of marginal utility. It ceases to interest you. But music is not like that. The more you listen to Kalyani, the more your mind gets involved with it, and the more you want to listen to Kalyani. Right? This is, I'm sure, the experience of many of you. Okay, so let me sing something. So let us go through the when we talk of building up the mind using the intellect so that we appreciate music in more meaningful ways. One is to let the music enter your mind and just go out. That is passive listening, where you are not involving your mind and its faculties in the process. Classical music and all significant music of the entire world requires you to apply yourself. You are not a passive cog in the wheel. You are an active participant in the process of music making. The music source might be outside, but the music experiencer is you, and within you, your mind, your intellect, your emotions, everything comes into play. Right? So recognize that. Recognize that it is your mind, intellect. You are listening to the music with all these. It is not just a sensory experience. Many people come and tell me with the wrong notion that I just like to relax and listen to music. I don't want to trouble my intellect and my buddhi and all that. That is a very normal way of experiencing music. You have to experience it wholly with your whole being. And definitely that calls upon all the faculties of your brain. In fact, I will go to the extent of saying that the faculties of the brain are made best available and are utilized best when you appreciate something. Not even when you create something. It's when you appreciate something. Because in appreciation, built in is a sense of thankfulness. I'm getting slightly spiritual here. But then, when you appreciate something, there is an automatic sense of your being lifted away from your limitedness, you know, that you are limited, that you are confined, that this is what you can do. Appreciation spontaneously lifts you from this state of limitedness. The raga, Saptaswaras. Saptaswara sobillu, Saptaswara sobillu, Saptaswara sobillu. In the raga Jaganmohini of Tyagaraja. Sundarula bhajimpave manasa sobillu, Saptaswara. Right. So these Saptaswara, the 7 notes. Kalyani is what is called a Sampurna Raga. It has all the 7 notes. So, Sari, Gama, Pada, Nisa, Sa, Ni, Dha, Pa, Ma, Ga, Ri, Sa. These are the Shuddha Swaras. The notes are plain. Sari, Gama, Pada, Nisa, Sa, Ni, Dha, Pa, Magarisa. Then when I adorn them, then when I beautify them, what is called Gamaka. In the Carnatic Kalyani, Sari Gama Padhani Sa Sani Dapa Magarisa. So, from the bare swara to the ornamented swara. Now these ornaments are of so many different types, you know, and like any other experience, if I were to compare it with a culinary experience or a visual experience, the idea of making something more and more beautiful is this process of Gamaka. And yes, there is a Shastra. There is a canonical tradition where it will tell you, this is what Kalyani is. Whatever you sing, it cannot be Kalyani. This is what Kalyani is. In Hindustani, for example, this raga, which is called Kalyan or Yaman, it will move like this, same notes. Sari ga ma pa ma ri ga ma da ni ma da ni sa sa ni ni pa ni da pa pa ba ma ga ma ri ga ri sa. Right? The same swaras, but packaged and ornamented, dressed up differently. It's like paneer in a paneer pakoda and paneer in paneer butter masala. The element is same, but the way it is supported and ornamented and dressed up is very different. I will give such examples. Don't take them too seriously. It's just for helping you understand. Don't go around and say, quoting that sir said that Kalyani is like paneer. It's not. It is just an illustration. So within these comes hundreds of compositions. This construct, simple basic construct of Kalyani. So as a music, if you want to grow in your music appreciation, first learn the rubrics, the basics of the raga. Sa ri ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Right? So you learn, oh, this is the position of the Rishabha. This is the position of the Gandhara. The Madhyama is what is called Prati Madhyama, Tivra Madhyam, higher Madhyama. Right? So you learn to recognize the building blocks. This is the beginning of appreciation. Don't tell, I don't want to learn, I don't want to know. Then your appreciation and your experience is going to be so dwarfed, so stunted. It's like you saying that I don't want to recognize colors. I would just want to enjoy colors. But then once you recognize colors, and then you see how they play out in nature, and how there are 256 million colors on your computer screen, and when you want to choose a color for the walls of your home, right? Somebody will say blushing red. You have to know what it is. That is the joy of living, of recognizing, of cognizing. So music also is like that. Unfortunately, in human development, especially in today's times, we don't give importance to the development of cognitive hearing. So you go to school, admission in KG, college, KG, or nursery or whatever, they ask you shapes, they ask the child to identify colors, but nobody ever asks the child, okay, sing Rishabha for me, sing Gandhara for me. Why not? Stunted, we have become so stunted in our development of hearing that we don't even utilize 5% of our hearing capacity. That is why we grow up to be adults who are not able to relate fully to the oral world, to a bird song, to the screeching of tires. Everything is the oral world, the hearing world. Then we are not so intimate with it because we have, at least in the 20th century, it has been a very visual time for civilization. Today we cannot even listen to a song without a video. Am I correct? Even classical musicians are all putting videos out. They are afraid that the music is not enough being heard alone. It is the sense of the visual which has taken over everything. Now, if you want to be in music appreciation, you have to work hard at reversing that. Making sure that you develop your sense of hearing. Like I said, everything is learned. So learn to appreciate Mariga, Mariga, as different from Mariga. You can all sense this difference between the two mas. Mari, Mari. And in some raga, to confuse you, both the madhyamas will come. Maga, Maga will come in Yaman Kalyan. Both the madhyamas will come. So the idea of Kalyani, the idea of Kalyan is premised by your knowledge of the building blocks of the swaras. So, if I sing this phrase, it's a complex, spontaneous phrase. It contains so much of Kalyani. Unless you have, to an extent, it's like reading. Unless you know the alphabet well, can you read fast? Can you read a poem and enjoy? You cannot. But it is available for you to learn. And this can be learnt on your own. You know, you don't need to be a professional musician or a professional or a music student to go and learn. It is the mind equips itself. The mind learns to learn. But you have to give it that opportunity. Right? So if your mind is very, very well trained, what I just sang, you will be able to reproduce. Like how for a poem, if somebody recites a poem, 4 lines, you can repeat it. Why are you not able to do it? We think that music is only to be enjoyed. And what is this word enjoy? You and me enjoy in the same ways. Do you and me enjoy in the same extents? We don't. If you know about it, your enjoyment is much, much more enhanced. Because the enjoyment also takes place in this place called the Manasa. The more you know, the more you enjoy. So why aren't you greedy to know about music? To learn music? So that you can enjoy more. And not rest on this passive, people say, I just want to enjoy music. I don't want to know anything about it. It is such a cowardly statement according to me. You know, how can you enjoy something if you don't know about it? Yeah. You are just giving excuses to not want to know something more about Kalyani. Sir, I don't want to get into all those complexities. Why? You are ready to get into every other complexity of the neighbor's family, of your boss, whatever. Every other complexity you are ready to get into. This beautiful complexity you're not ready to submit yourself to and learn. This is why in the Indian tradition we have the idea of what's called Kelvi Jnanam. Tamil word, Kelvi Jnanam refers to how just by listening attentively, you acquire jnana, you acquire knowledge. If you listen to Kalyani 10 times, whether you like it or not, if you have listened with attention, then this raga will take root in your mind. The next time you listen to Kalyani, you will be able to recognize it. That's what is the function of the brain, is to provide you with joy. The manasa is there for you to experience joy. And so don't inhibit it. Appreciate music means you submit yourself to music again and again with your attention. You don't need to feel apologetic. Beginnings, yes, we struggle with our tables, right? 2 into 2, 4. We struggle with it when we are at that age. But after doing it for a year, even 12 times tables seems to be a breeze, you know. So do the same with music. Keep listening with attention. With your gavana, with your intent, you listen, and then the music will grow. Madani nida nipa mariga Kalyan Eriyali piya bina Eriyali piya bina Kalana parata mohe Gari palachina gina Eriyali piya bina. As you become a musician, there are 100,000 things that are happening here that I have to master. And as a listener, you have to master them. Only then you will become a discerning listener. You cannot call yourself as a music appreciator if you don't develop discernment. Discernment, yes, means it marks your growth as a listener. right? We go to the market and buy rice. We are able to discern that this is better rice, longer grain rice. This is a little browner rice. This rice is little muddy. This rice is clean. That is the discerning mind. The discerning mind is what a music appreciator should have. The responsibility of making sure that good music, music of values sustains, is upon the listener. And this is in shambles now. Because people think everything is fine. No. If everything is fine, then you go and eat 20 rupee rice. If you want that principle to be valid. In some things you make choices of sophistication and refinement, and in other things you say everything is fine. How can it be? Kalyani is Kalyani. It has to be good Kalyani. Right? So that discernment has to be there. So music appreciation involves a process of learning by which your discernment will keep increasing. And then you become an expert yourself. The listener becomes an expert. There were times when the artist will be afraid of certain rasikas who come and sit in the front row, because they might sometimes know much more than the artist. They can find all your faults. So you are scared of them. He or she is not a performer or a musician. It is a rasika, a tivra rasika, a rasika who has developed his discernment to a high level. That is what music appreciation. So the rasika also has to grow. The appreciator also has to keep updating the appreciation levels. So today you are at a particular level, 1 year later you are at a slightly higher level. And nobody has given you instruction. You have just submitted yourself to intentful listening of music and you have grown. Right? So there are no excuses for you to be stagnant as a music appreciator. If you really want to be that, you cannot tell, nobody taught me. Why? You submit yourself to repeated listening and the mind will learn on its own. You don't worry, you don't decide on its behalf. Right? So this was Kalyani. Somebody wanted something else. Anyway, so music in the Indian context is based on this beautiful thing called raga and tala. Tala being the time or rhythmic side of the music and raga being the melodic side. There is no music which comes from the land of India which doesn't have this. Whether it be film or whether it be folk or whether it be devotional or whether it be anything, everything comes back to this beautiful divine thing called the raga. So let me I have a guest performer today. My wife Anuradha Sriram is a very good singer, and she's very successful film playback singer also. So I have requested her to sing something small, and then we will talk about it. We will say how to appreciate, how to fit these particular film songs into a rubric of appreciation. Yeah, shall we do that, Anu?
Sriram Garu, it's really wonderful, sir. It's really wonderful. So thank you.
Yeah,
it's a double delight for us today. Thank you very much.
Namaskaram, everybody.
Namaskaram. Thank
Most
you.
welcome. Most welcome. My pleasure. I mean, Silicon Andhra Valley has been doing such a fantastic job, and I'm happy to be part of it today. Thanks for Sriram.
Thank you.
I'll sing a song. Since he said it's a raga based, film songs are very eclectic. They borrow from very different traditions, and so sometimes they're not in the same raga. They start off in one particular raga and then they branch out. I have a lot of accidental notes, but this one is a beautiful one song that I sang in Meruppu Kalalu in different languages. I thought I'll sing everything in Telugu because a lot of you, I think, all Telugu speaking people, right? If I'm not mistaken. So here it is. అపరంజి మదనుడే అనువైన సకుడుడే అతడే నీ అందగాడే వరిచేల మెరుపుల వజ్రమై రత్నమై వచ్చే వలపంటే వాడే పోరాట భూమినే పూదోట కోనగా పులకింపజేసినాడే కన్నీటి కాయాలు కన్నీటితో కడుగు శిశుపాలుడొచ్చినాడే అపరంజి మదనుడే అనువైన సకుడులే అతడే నీ అందగాడే. This is a raga based song. Similarly, this another song which I sang is Sita ko kachilakalamma lele kachigura kulamma paradu papayilamma ungi పారెటి సెలయేరులమ్మ పుత్తిళ్ళలో చెట్టి పుత్తడి బొమ్మలు పొదుగు కొన్న ముద్దు బొమ్మ పొందేటి ఆనందమేదో తెలియాలంటే ఎత్తాలి తను ఆడజమ్మ బ్రహ్మ సీతాకొక్క చిలకాలమ్మ లేలే కచ్చిగురాకులమ్మ. Then there's a song in Annamaya, ఏలే ఏలే మరదలా వాలే వాలే వరసలా నచ్చింది నచ్చింది నా సూకు నీకేస్తా సూకులు ఇచ్చే 16 సూకులు చాలుని తోటి ఆహ చాలుని తోటి సరసాలు భావా ఏలే ఏలే మరదలా వాలే వాలే వరసలా. I'll sing a few and then Sriram will explain all of them for you as to how you can look at it. If you take songs like Aapki nazaron ne samjha प्यार के काबिल मुझे दिल की धड़कन ठहर जा मिल गई मंजिल मुझे आपकी नजरों ने समझा. I'll sing something from the recent times. This is a classic. I'm sure a lot of the older people know these songs. कैसे तेरी खुद गर्जी ना धूप चुने ना छाँव कैसे तेरी खुद गर्जी किसी ठोर टिके ना पाओ बन लिया अपना पैगंबर कर लिया तू साथ समंदर फिर भी सूखा मन के अंदर क्यों रहेगा कबीरा मान जा रे फकीरा मान जा आजा तुझको पुकारे मेरे परछाइया. Then the very ghazal based songs like फिर ले आया दिल मजबूर क्या कीजिए रास ना रहना दूर क्या कीजिए देख कर है रहा उसे मुकम्मल कर भी आओ वो धो अधूरी सी बात बाकी है वो जो अधूरी सी याद बाकी है. This is a very ghazali kind of a film song. Now Sriram will explain the principle behind understanding all these film songs. Thank you once again and have a beautiful day.
So we are able to see that there is a certain organization of the music. The melody is organized in a particular way. There is a particular design to what the melody follows. Right? So that design is called the raga. Um, for example, the last, we'll go from the reverse. So, ga sa ga re ma ga sa re re pa ni sa. That was the basic soundscape of the ghazal. Ga re ma ga sa re re pa ni sa. So that is what is the framework of the melody. Sa ni pa ga re ma ga re sa re re pa ni sa. This is like a Yaman Kalyan. Like she said, film and ghazal need not conform to one raga very faithfully. They take their liberties. But raga, yes. They will go from one raga to the other and come back and so on and so forth. The song that she sang, Yele Yele Maradala Vale Vale Tirajara. That is based on a raga called Shuddha Danyasi. Saga Mapa Nisa Sanipa Magasa. This scale, this raga is so popular in Telugu film culture. Sometimes even a Chiranjeevi dance number is based on this raga. A sad song also based in this raga. Bahubali has 3-4 songs in this raga. So this raga is in the consciousness of this culture of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh very deeply. And hence every second song is in this raga, which is called Shuddha Danyasi. Right? So if you want to understand this Yele Yele Maradala and appreciate it a little more, film songs have the power that they can be very complex in terms of many instruments playing. So the sound becomes big. It's like an orchestral performance. There's an interlude, there is a lot of variation. So the mind is always kept on edge and satisfied by variation. It's like going to a buffet meal, where you have 100 things, you can select whatever you like. Whereas classical music is like having a beautiful, simple, but exquisite plate of idli. Only one thing. Right? So, yele yele, saga mapa, mapa magasa, maradala. So that is a framework. Saga mapa ni saga mapa, maradani magazani pa. This is a scale. Saga mapa magazani. Now this will seem to a beginner learner, this will seem very intimidating, right? Whereas saga mapa mapa magasa seems very accessible, simple, right? Now if you want to go from enjoying this Yele Yele Maradala to Shuddha Danyasi, you have to work to understand that, okay, this saga mapa ni sa ni pa maga sa ni pa saga sa. To go from the song to this will require you to travel, put in your work. So for you, next you can appreciate. Subramanyena rakshitoham ashtadasa lochana kandena Subramanyena rakshitoham Dasalochana Kandena Subramanyena Rakshitoham Yele Yele Maradala. You can see they are belonging to the same family, the same raga. Even though they are manifesting themselves slightly differently, they are belonging to the same raga. So this is how you grow. So you decide, okay, what other song can I hear and extend my experience and appreciation of Shuddha Danyasi, this raga. Sri Partha Sadati Napali Tosmyam Sada. Another composition. And Purandar Dasa composition. Narayana I don't know this composition, but I've heard it so many times. So all of them belonging to one family called Shuddhadandas. So music appreciation in the context of Indian music, whether it be folk or classical or film or popular or bhangra, whatever, it's always based on the raga. Right? She sang the song Sita ko kachila kalamma da 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 pa ma pa di sa di pa ma pa di sa 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 di pa 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 di sa ni pa 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 di sa sa di ma pa pa ma pa pa ma pa pa di sa ni pa 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 ma pa ma di pa ma pa di sa di pa ma pa di sa sa. So this is a raga called Hamsanadam. Sari ba ba ni sari ba ma di sari ba pa ni sa ni pa ma di sa. So when you learn this scale, learning doesn't mean that you learn to sing it. You learn to first recognize it and then identify with it. Bantu Riti Kolu Viyavaya Rama. You've heard this composition, right? Of Tyagarajas. Beautiful composition. So you realize Sita ko kachila kalamma. The design of that is the same as Bantu Riti Kolu Viyavaya Rama Bantu. Can you see the synergy between it? So it is for you to recognize. Your mind is growing all the time. Your mind is learning something more and making itself more of an expert. Little by little, small baby steps. The first song that she sang, Pa sa sa ni da pa, mama pa pa ma gari, sa sa ga di ga ma pa pa. Right? From the film. Now this is a lighter version of a raga called Ananda Bhairavi. So you recognize the melodic scape, that design, that particular design as the raga. Paluke Bangaramayanna Kodandapani Paluke Bangaramayanna Kodandapani Paluke. This is Ananda Bhairavi. So if you can appreciate that song instantaneously, how can you not enjoy this? This is equally beautiful. You are not giving yourself that chance. This is a little more difficult because you have to take the steps yourself. In the film song, the film is there, the lighting is there, the pretty heroine is there, there is a story, the words are easier to understand, they relate to common topics. Paluke Bangaramayanna is little less accessible, but then very much accessible. So for the music appreciator, for him or her to go from this to that, I think is a pretty straightforward process. But you have to commit to yourself to do that. And then you discover the world of Ananda Bhairavi. Then you will go to something like Marive Eredati Yauvaram. Complex, more gamakas, more joy. Himachala Tanaya Bro Tutakiti Manchi Samayamu Rave Amba Himachala. Here you are calling Himachala Tanaya, the goddess, the daughter of Himavan. Come and protect me, Shama Shastri asks. Now these lyrics are going to be not as attractive as the film song lyric. The film song lyric, 90% is based on Sringara, right? And it's very attractive. For you to call out to Parvati requires you to go to the next step of appreciation, right? That's why the refining of taste is also very critical. Refining of taste doesn't mean it's a process of elitism. A lot of people confuse. We continue to refine tastes, right? Don't you graduate from one model of the cell phone to the updated version? You do. Is that elitism? No. No, there are people who say that this classical music has become very elitist. What a stupid thing to say. So parochial, so narrow-minded. If you refine your taste and if you upgrade yourself to more refined and more subtle, more complex music, is that move to elitism? No, it's self-development. You understand? So it's important for an appreciator to recognize that he or she is in a process, and he or she will commit himself or herself to the process of refinement, to the process of the more subtle. That is what a conscious, an intelligent human being does. He goes from reading a novel to a classic to even more important non-fictional works. There is a process by which he is growing. Why don't you adopt the same philosophy when it comes to music listening? Let your appreciation go from one level to the other. That is not to say that I am grading them or there's a hierarchy. No, it's a personal pursuit. Right? So from enjoying the song. Now, when you are listening to music, especially in the Indian context, you are simultaneously listening to poetry also. 95% of Indian music, except for all this new age fusion stuff which have no words and which also have very little meaning, they're all chaos. Mostly it's expression of the self. There is no structured way in which the music plays out. So, but we are so, like I said, song, Sangeeta, song implies meaningful lyrics, Sahitya. So whether it be Paluke Bangar Maina or Yele Yele Mardala, it is the words also which you enjoy. You are enjoying meaningful poetry. So there are two kinds of appreciation that are going on here. To begin with, there are many kinds of appreciation. So two kinds of appreciation. Appreciation of the absolute music, appreciation of the lyric. Right? Many times, the lyric is available to you too because you are well developed in language. All of us learn language, no? Through school, 15 years of English and Hindi and Telugu and whatnot. We don't learn any music. So hence our musical development of the brain is very stunted. Our linguistic development of languages and meaning and syntax and lexicon is all very well developed. So nobody needs to explain the lyric. You are able to understand it immediately, and hence you are able to enjoy it immediately. Sahitya, but then there is no need to feel up or down about this. Indian music gives you an opportunity to enjoy both poetry and sound at the same time. For example, I'm not having much of requests of ragas. Otherwise, I will be able to sing more.
Sriram Garu. Yeah, there are some comments in the chat, sir. Somebody is asking about Hamsanandam or Hamsanandi.
Hamsanadam and Hamsanandi are not the same.
Yeah, that was one, and then there were some.
I think Saroja Garu answered that.
Yeah, Saroja Garu, our faculty member, she answered that. There was some Hindolam Ragam requester. Sudhadanyasi, you covered it already. Pantu Varali, Ananda Bhairavi. These are all the some of the requests that are there. So, Ananda Bhairavi, Ahiri, Kanakangi, some of these. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Samajavaragamanna Sadhukrit Samajavaragamanna Sadhukrit Samajavaragamanna Sadhukrit Sarasajapala Kalatita Vikhyata Samajavaragamanna. Very beautiful composition of Tyagaraja. Samajavaragamana Sadhukrit. So you can also enjoy the poetry where Tyagaraja is extolling this idea of the Sama, idea of sound, idea of music as residing in the hearts of sadhus. Sadhus are not people wearing ochre robes. Sadhus are who are in the pursuit of truth. Sadhu, sadho, sadhe, all of them refer to seekers. People who are seeking meaning, more meaning, right? Kabir says, no, suno bhai sadho. Kahta Kabir, suno bhai sadho. Addressing the. So here also Tyagaraja says that this idea of Saraswati, Veda Shiro Matrija Taswara, the Uttama, the peak of the Vedas, Sama Vedas and the Saptaswara there and Saraswati sound there. So he is reveling in Nada. So that Nada sense also you can enjoy. The beautiful poetry of Tyagaraja. And Hindola Raga, it is packaged in Hindola. Such a beautiful pentatonic scale. Saga Madha Nisha Sanida Maga Sanida Nidama Damaga Magasa. So when I sing this line, what are you enjoying? What are you appreciating? You're appreciating 6-7 things at the same time. You're appreciating the design. Ta 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 ta. You don't even realize that you're enjoying that. But without you knowing also you enjoy so many things. Sa ni da ni da ma da ma ga ma ga sa. Right? Ta 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 ta. You're also enjoying the nature of the pentatonic scale of Hindola. Sa ni da ma ga sa. The sound frequencies of each of them. Then you're also enjoying the gamakas. It's not sa ni da ni da ma ga sa. Right? Here they are plain notes. But when I sing them, sa ni da, there is more love. There is more melody. There is more beauty. Sa ni da ma ga sa. And when I sing this, there is an emotional content. There is a sense of karunyam. Right? If I were to sing, I will sing the same thing in 2-3 ways. Sa ni da ma ga sa. By the modulation of my voice, by the tonal variation, I give it a quality of a rasa, of love and pleading, compassion. Sa ni da. If I were to sing this in the Gambhira rasa, sa ni da ma ga sa, strident, Veera rasa. Whereas if I sing sa ni da ma ga sa, so you're able to appreciate emotion. Right? The emotional connect of music is also there for you to enjoy and appreciate. When you encounter Karunya Rasa, you don't go into tears. You take in the sense and beauty of even Karunya. Rasa is that. Rasa is where you are able to get in touch with the essence of an emotion. I'm simplifying things here, but for general purpose. So you are designed, you're enjoying the rhythm, you're enjoying the 5-note structure, a pentatonic structure, you are enjoying the embellishment, you're enjoying the lyric. If I were to say, Samani Gamaja Sudha. Here, Samani Gamaja Sudha, so you are able to enjoy what it implies. Sudha meaning Amrita. For Tyagaraja, this reveling in these 5 notes and the Saptaswara of Saraswati, which are coming out of the flute of Krishna. Yadava Kula Murali Vadana, Yadava Kula Murali Vadana, Vinoda Mohana, they delight me, he says. Vinoda Mohana. What is Mohana? To lose yourself. To be delighted to a point where you forget yourself and your limited self. Vinoda Mohana Kara Tyagaraja Vanganiyada Samajavara Gamana. When I do something virtuosic, you are also enjoying my hard work, my sadhana. If I sing this line perfectly, you will appreciate the effort that I am putting. If I sing it non-perfectly, you are supposed to, I don't know, what is the opposite of appreciate? I don't know. Anyway, but so you realize that you are even recognizing human endeavor. If I sing, difficult phrase. It calls for an expertise. So there you are appreciating how complex it is, right? When you look at a RNA or a DNA strand, you can see beauty there in its complexity. Chains and sublinks and links of atoms and molecules, right? So there you are appreciating complexity, something which is so difficult to understand. So when I sing Malcolms, for example, आज मोरे घर आइला बलमा, आज मोरे घर आइला बलमा, करूंगी आधार रंग थोड़ा लिया, आज मोरे घर आइला बलमा, करूंगी आधार रंग थोड़ा लिया, आज मोरे घर आइला बलमा, करूंगी. So here the bandish is very complex, fast and full of gamakas, very difficult to sing. And with the power and strident voice, Amir Khan's composition. Then you will appreciate my creativity, the artist's creativity. The designs that I create within these 5 notes. Samaga manida nisa nida nida maga madada maga nisa. Samamaga nisa 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 gamada gamada nisa nisa mamada nisa gamada nisa 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 madada gamada maga nisa. So how my brain, my creativity you are able to relate to. My creativity, the artist's creativity provides for you to revel in the raga, for you to revel in human endeavor. When you look at something beautiful, a creation, say if you look at the Kailash, Mount Kailash temple in Ellora, Ajanta Ellora, or if you look at say the Great Wall of China, you revel, appreciate human endeavor. Correct? Or when we look at so many things and we revel in the beauty and complexity of it. Similarly, in music appreciation. So simultaneously, you are engaging in the appreciation of so many things. Appreciation of the geometry of the design, appreciation of the spatiality of the design in terms of the notes and their dispersion, appreciation of the lyric, the complexity, the culture from which this is coming. Right? appreciation of the artist's creativity and imagination, appreciation of the endeavor of the artist, the sadhana of the artist towards perfection, appreciation of emotion. So music appreciation is not just one, it is all these in varying degrees. For example, when I talk about design, if I say there is a composition in the raga Jayanta Sena of Tyagaraja, Vinata Sutavana Sri Ramana Manasaraga Sevintada. While going saga ma pada, 5 notes. While coming down and the avroha sa ni da pa maga, 6 notes. So the audava shadava asymmetry you appreciate. If you don't know, then how can you appreciate the asymmetry? You have to know that this asymmetry is the design of the raga. If you go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, due to some engineering mistake, it is leaning, it is sinking into the ground. But then you go there to admire the leaning and to take a photo there. Suddenly, if the tower decides, if they decide to make the tower straight, nobody will go there. So sometimes even asymmetry and some things which are not in the normal sense evoke appreciation. Then, second Sangadi. So here you are appreciating the rhythm. Takata, 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 Vinata Sutava Hanasri Ramana Manasa Ragase Vintada Rama Vinata. So the sway of the lyric, the rhythm of the lyric, all of that you are appreciating. The meaning of the lyric, of course, you're appreciating the sound of the word Rama. If I sing it properly, when I sing the word Rama, there is a sense of aha within you that will arise. If that doesn't arise, then I have not done my job properly. So let us see if that arises. At the word Rama, there is exaltation. Vinata Sutavana Sri Ramana Manasaraga Se Vintada Rama Vinata. Right, the Rama I am treating specially because that is what Tyagaraja wishes to. That's why he puts Rama at the end of the sentence. According to me, in one lecture demonstration I mentioned, the greatest contribution of Tyagaraja is in the beauty that he gave in terms of sound to the word Rama. Rama starts meaning so many things because of the sound of that particular word in its kritis. Hundreds of kritis. Great contribution. So you have to appreciate that. Rama 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 Tyagaraja Sadana. In another kriti, Nidaya Radha, in the raga Vasanta Bhairavi. Rama 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 Rama. If I sing this without that affectation, Rama Rama Rama, normal. This also you can appreciate. Why not? But a heightened sense of appreciation when you are able to latch on to what is the singer or the instrumentalist trying to convey. Rama 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 Rama. With the gift given to me in terms of modulating the voice, in terms of expressing through the song, expressing through song, I have to make a difference. I have to convey meaning, right? Rama 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 Tyagaraja Sadana. Rama residing in Tyagaraja's heart. So the emotional connect, the lyrical connect, the historical connect. Immediately the music appreciator goes to the time of Tyagaraja. Tyagaraja's image comes in front of his or her eyes and there is joy. This is what is music appreciation. One line will afford so many levels of appreciation. You have to commit to that, right? Some people appreciate the poetry more because there is an inclination that way. For some people in Indian music, the lyric is just a medium. It is the raga, the music, which is supposed to play the dominant role. Now, these arguments and debates can go on, but we have to understand that both of them are available for you to appreciate. So, learn the language, because learning the language and understanding the words from the primary sense is so elevated, right? Yes, some people will say the raga is enough for me. But then why are you limiting yourself? Why don't you learn the language, at least get to the meaning of the composition, and understand the poetry? You double, buy one, get one free. We are all so used to that, right? Cutting coupons and buy one, get one. Here you go to listen to the song and you get poetry. And you get other things, is buy one, get six free. So whether it be a Hindi film song or, चिंगारी कोई धड़के तो सावन उसे बुझाए, सावन जो अग्न लगाए उसे कौन बुझाए, ओ उसे कौन बुझाए. But here in the film Anand, I think, or Aradhana, I'm not sure, Rajesh Khanna sings this song, and then it is so beautiful. The words, so if you know Hindi, Chingari, the savan, the rains will, extinguish the flame. But if it is savan itself which is lighting the flame, then who is going to extinguish that? It's an expression of love. It's love poetry. So your appreciation of the music is not separate from the appreciation of the poetry. We have never looked at poetry and music as two separate things. We always sang. Whether it be Kabir or Andal or Mirabai or Tyagaraja or Dikshitar, all of us just sang. It's word and music together. So when you have that opportunity to upgrade yourself, elevate yourself as a Rasika, try to learn. You don't need to go to, Telugu 101 and learn the language. There are so many people around you who will tell you the meaning of the song, right? You go to a concert, you can ask the neighbor beside you. In our concerts, we don't frown upon people asking and talking between themselves. Generally speaking. In fact, our appreciation itself is very vocal. You listen to old concerts and you'll see so much of sound of appreciation. Aha, aha, bele, sabash. Wah, wah, kya baat hai. Subhanallah. These are all the kinds of appreciation, spontaneous appreciation. We don't have to wait till the end of the piece and give one formal applause. Our way of I'm not saying anything wrong. Different cultures express appreciation differently. Let us revel in ours. So say Baba, say Bala, Sabash. Nobody is going to look at you with a frown as if you have disturbed their peace. No, it's part of the music making actually. You say and you raise your hand, the artist feels very good and he gives out more. He or she gives out better versions. He's enthusiastic. Now, if you sit there with a dumb, blank expression on your face, then you will say, these fellows, they are not understanding anything. I will just do my job and go. So the music appreciator, the Rasika, has a role to play, a very important role to play, to express the appreciation. In olden times, If somebody liked a particular song or something, then they will take a 100 rupee note and then do like this and offer it to the artists. Again, appreciation. Spontaneous appreciation. So, the Rasika is part of the whole music making. Important to understand. He is not separate. There is no stage there and the listener here. There is only music everywhere. The artists and you exist in that beautiful cocoon of the raga, tala, sahitya, kriti, bandish, you exist together. Important for you to recognize that you are very important. The Rasika is not passive. The Rasika determines the course that the music takes. Do you know that? Huge responsibility on the Rasika. It is the Rasika who decides. Now when I go to FB, Facebook and see randomly everybody is putting likes for everything, there is no Rasikatvam. Right? Where is your discernment? You only put likes for things which you like. Not because it is your friend or your friend says, please like my song on FB. How can you ask somebody to like? They should like spontaneously. Anyway, so the Rasika, there also there is an irresponsible Rasika. And so the music of tomorrow will reflect that everything goes, everything is fine. Even if you sing out of tune, it's fine. Even if the words are wrong, it's fine. Yeah. So, important to recognize that you have a very significant role to play. Like how you have a role to play when you elect a government in a democracy. Right? You recognize you have a role to play. Similarly, in determining the future of music, the music appreciator has a very significant role to play. So let me see what else we can. I will just, we are running out of time also, we have completed. There are a lot of areas which I wanted to talk about. Because I myself am a Rasika first. And then only a performer or a teacher. How can I be a teacher if I am not a Rasika? I have to be a Rasika first. Right? I have to revel in the beauty of it, the complexity of it, the design of it. I have to revel in it. Ultimately, what is getting communicated is Ananda. But since we have these ways and modes by which we experience Ananda, Sangeeta is one such. So when you are a music appreciator, when you are appreciating music, remember that you are giving yourself an opportunity to be in Ananda, to be in happiness. Yeah. So consider your position in this whole thing as very, very, very significant. There was a request for Ahiri. We don't have time to cover all the ragas. Request for Ahiri. I will tell you what is called pointed appreciation. Now, Ahiri, this raga, the crux of the raga is that beautiful nishada. The word Ahiri comes from the ahir in Hindi, Brij Bhasha is what a cowherd is called. The cowherd here is Krishna. So ahir becomes the melody of this Krishna is what Ahiri is. Ahir Bhairav is also referring to the same nomenclature. So Ahiri, that nishada of it, so beautiful. They will say in olden times that Ahiri, if you sing, you will die of hunger. The raga, if they suppose there was a belief that if you sing Ahiri, you are going to starve. All these connections are beautiful. We do not follow them, but it's beautiful to just mention them and see the connections. Right? In Shyama Shastri's composition, Mayamma Yani, in the Anupallavi. Shyama Shastri was committed to the Lord Kamakshi and Meenakshi. So his goddesses, his devotion for the goddesses, his bhakti, comes out in his kritis. So he asked the question, Nyayama idi Meenakshi Amma, is it fair You're able to travel. You're able to travel 200 years, 250 years back, enter the emotional state of Shyama Shastri and participate in that. The music allows you to do that. The music allows me to time travel. It is real. When I sing Kabir, I have an opportunity to go into his state of mind when he composed that. When I sing Andal, I have an opportunity to go and look at her extreme bhakti for Krishna. So as a Rasika also you have that opportunity. You're not just appreciating the music, you're appreciating so many things. That's why when some great singers, when they sing some emotional poetry, you'll find that they tear up. Because they are able to transcend and go on to a state of mind, the original composer. Who says it's not possible? Very much possible. So I shall sing you a little bit of Kabir, yeah, and then one line, and then Ahiri. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, गगन में आवाज हो रही है झीनी झीनी. Kabir says, the sound is there for you in the skies. Knowledge is there for you in the skies, but you have to seek it. So it epitomizes what. So even in music, there is seeking. You have to seek out the beauty of the music. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. गगन में आवाज हो रही है झीनी झीनी झीनी. झीनी झीनी झीनी. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. गगन में आवाज हो रही है झीनी झीनी झीनी. So in this line, there is less of complexity, but there is more of subtleness. The way I pronounce each syllable, where I lay emphasis, where I punctuate, what I repeat. सुनता है, सुनता है. सुनता है means he is listening. The seeker is listening. सुनता है, सुनता है, सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. How I make the word jnani more impactful. ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. गगन में आवाज हो रही है, आवाज, the sound. You to appreciate that. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी ज्ञानी. गगन में आवाज हो रही है झीनी झीनी झीनी. झीनी झीनी झीनी. सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी. So you have to listen with all your faculties. The subtlest of things you have to listen. To focus and take in even the most subtle things will grow. And that's when you are growing as a Rasika. So your ear also grows, your hearing sense grows. Sunta hai. How I say the hai? Sunta hai. It's not that. Sunta hai. Sunta hai. Sunta hai. So Kabir's words, I have to make them more and more beautiful. So that it is more and more beautiful for you. You have to be alive to that beauty. Okay. So it's very wonderful to see how this beautiful music making happens between the composer who's somewhere else 500 years back and the singer who has learned this and who has spent time thinking about it, and who has trained himself herself to sing. And finally, the Rasika, who is able to appreciate all this. What a beautiful gift of God that we are able to appreciate and delight in this. Nada Sudharasam, Tyagaraja calls. To delight in rasa of Nada. We all have to be Nadopasakas. We have to pursue Nada. Even as a listener, as a Rasika, you have to pursue Nada. You have to know where it is. You have to know where to seek it. Anyway, so I want to go back to Ahiri. So that Nishada, Nida, Nida, Pa, that Nishada is very subtle. So look at how Shyama Shastri places that. Nyayama Meenaksham Ma. So the Makarala, Ammala, the Nishada is also resonating. Nishada is of the Raga. The Amma is of the poetry. Both of them come together. You have to appreciate this. Nyayama Meenaksham Kyam Ma Nisa Nida Nida Dapa Pada Pada Mapa. First, if I want to understand Ahiri, I have to try to recognize what is that Nishada. Only then I can sing it for you. Nyayama Meenaksham Ma Ninnu Vina Vere Dikevarum Naru Maya. He says, without you, there is nowhere else for me to go. Vere Dikevarum. So the idea that the lyric folds back into this beautiful raga so seamlessly, and it is there for us to enjoy. It is there for us to appreciate. So I think we have shot way past our time. I'm very sorry, Raju Garu, but there is so much to express and share in this beautiful music that is ours. You know, it's not enough to say that music is an ocean. We keep saying these things, no? Music is an ocean. Music in the whole COVID thing, everybody says music will heal you. How will it heal you? Unless you attach yourself and engage with it. It was not going to happen automatically. Ishvara has given us his faculties to engage with it. Music will not heal the world unless we wish for it to heal the world. It's not an automatic process, please. It's not that it will fall on your ears and automatically we'll all be transported to regions of mental peace and all that. Nothing will happen. It's all illusion. If people tell you that listening to music will elevate you, it's all illusion. You have to engage with it. And engaging is not a bad word. It doesn't take away appreciation or enjoyment. In fact, it enhances appreciation and enjoyment. If you understand something, you are appreciating it more. You are enjoying it more. Am I correct? So give yourself that opportunity. Start on a journey of understanding what is happening in the music. There is so much for you to understand. And as your understanding grows, the music becomes more and more delightful. Yeah. So thank you so much,
Sriram
Raju Garu.
Sriram Garu, thank you very much, sir. It's wonderful, and it was wonderful listening to you. We do not know how the time has passed. We didn't want to interrupt you. I know we went probably half an hour longer than we anticipated, but it's an amazing thing, sir. And we had the experience of seeing Anuji live on the program today. So it was wonderful. It was a double delight. And all the Rasikas
Thank
today,
you so much.
who have participated, please take more interest in taking this journey forward. We have such amazing faculty at University of Silicanandra. So please, visit our website, see if there's anything that's interesting. I'm putting some, contact information in the chat here. You can, follow that. And next week, we are going to have a panel discussion about the importance of language for music and dance. It's another, amazing topic. We will have about 8 of our faculty members, in the panel next week. So please spread the word to all your friends, anybody who can benefit from our university programs. Our university is a non-profit 501c3 unique academic institution. This is going to be a center of excellence for Indian fine arts and languages. So please support us, and I'm going to unmute everybody. If anybody wants to say anything, please do. And we have the pleasure of, one of our board of trustees, Dr. Amy Catlin, who is the professor at UCLA. Dr. Amy, you want to say a couple of words, anything?
I would like to say that was a superb experience, the way you have taken us on a journey through so many centuries and levels of understanding and appreciation from so many different depths, and to be performing as well as you're explaining the meanings behind so many layers of musical importance. It was just breathtaking. Thank you so much, Sri Ramji.
Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
It means a lot, because I know I know you have lived a life steeped and immersed in music. So coming from you, it's indeed, I'm very happy. Thank you so much. And I would like to also place on, there are so many of my co-faculty members who have been here, and it's amazing the love that they have for, this University of Silicon Andhra is a place you fall in love with. It is not just a university and some administration and top level and faculty. We are all one family, and I have enjoyed my 4 years being with them. Raju Garu, Dina Babu Garu, Anand Babu, Anand Garu, all the staff are so loving.
Yes.
Because what music does, it teaches you to be a better human being.
Yes.
It teaches you to love more.
Yes.
So music appreciation is not limited to just being entertained or having a good time.
No.
It is so empowering. It is so beautiful. So I wish, sometimes I lose myself because I want as many people to be part of this process of music appreciation, because I know that their lives will get better because it has for me, and I cannot thank Ishvara enough for that blessing. Yeah. So thank you so much. All due to my gurus, all due to my teachers, my parents. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.
Thank you, Shri Ramji, and all the participants of the webinar. If you have any comments, anything like that, I will keep the chat open for another couple of minutes. Please share your thoughts, and we need all your blessings to take this university to the next level. So please kindly spread the word. And if you are interested, our doors are open always for you. So write to us at admissions@universityofsiliconandhra.org. We look forward to welcoming you at the university. Thank you all. Good night, Shri Ramji. It's wonderful, sir. Kicking off.
Thank you so much. It has been my utmost joy.
So thank you for helping us kick off our webinar series with your lovely talk today. Ever grateful to you, sir, for all your support and your service to the promotion of music.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So namaste to all, and stay safe. Have a wonderful summer. We will be out and free very soon. Let us pray. Om.
Thank you, sir. Namaskaram. Good night to all. Thank you.